If you had told me when I was a 9-year-old little boy that one day I would be in the middle of Arizona partnering with our good friends from QAVA to do an 8-part series that is leading people towards God as they prepare for Easter, I would have laughed at you and told you that you've got the wrong guy. See, when I was 9 years old, I hated God. As a matter of fact, the last thing I would have wanted to do as a little boy was to call people towards God. I was 9 years old when the Iranian Revolution happened in my country, and in those days, I call it religion gone wrong. My family and I were forced to escape our country, and in my mind as a little boy, we were running as fast as we could, as far as we could, away from God. My family and I were refugees. We came eventually to the United States under this thing called political asylum. And when we got here, we were Muslim by heritage, but the last thing I wanted was to find a route to get intimate with God. For years and years, that was me, until one day, a friend of mine invited me to go to church. To be really honest, it was a weird thing. My friend and I were sitting in the car, and we were smoking weed together, of all things. And as my buddy was handing me a joint, he invited me to church. And by the way, that is so Southern culture, where just about everybody's on roll somewhere. And I didn't want to go to church, and I told him all the reasons I didn't want to go, but instead of giving up, he named the 4 prettiest girls from my high school and told me that they all were going to be at his church the next day. So I got up the next day and I went to church, and when I went there, I saw something that didn't really feel like religion. I saw something that felt more like redemption. And when they saw me coming, it was almost like they had seen someone from the 1040 window show up at their front door. For the next 8 Monday nights in a row, these Christians, they were called the youth group, but I just call them the youth ministry, showed up at my house for 8 Monday nights in a row. They called it visitation, I'll call it harassment. But in all kidding aside, I wanted to see them there, and every time we'd come together, they would share the gospel with me. They would tell me that Jesus Christ was the Son of God, that he'd lived a perfect life and died a sinner's death, and that if I gave my life to him, I'd find hope, I'd find peace, I'd find resurrection power. And I kept telling them, guys, I want to have nothing to do with religion. And they kept saying to me, we want to have nothing to do with religion either. We don't want to make you religious, we want to make you his. And one night, when I was 18 and 2 months old, I gave the Lord my life. My parents were never devout as Muslims until the night I became a Christian. And the night, a week later, that I went to get baptized at the church that I became a Christian is when they kicked me out of the house and disowned me. But can I tell you, as a kid who got kicked out and moved in with 8 guys that lived in a 1-bedroom apartment and had lost everything, it looked like I'd blown my life up because of the decision that I'd made to follow Christ, how 5 months after I was a Christian, my sister had become a Christian. And then 5 months after that, my brother Benjamin became a Christian. And then 5 months after that, one night my mom called me really loud on the phone and said, "I've become a Christian tonight." And I was like, "Why are you yelling?" And she was like, "I want your father to hear because he's not kicking me nowhere." And my mom became a Christian. And 2.5 years later, God saved my dad. And one by one, I have seen the power of the gospel. I have seen resurrection power when God has delivered us from religion to redemption. So yeah, when we come here and we begin to talk about this Easter celebration, we begin to talk about the power of the gospel in an individual, I'm the first to say, yeah, I was an unlikely candidate, but right now I'm here to testify that God has a power to deliver a life from old to new, from death to life, from blind to see, honestly, from religion to redemption. And this week, as we begin to study together the route, the path, the way that Jesus, day by day by day, was preparing not just for the cross, but for resurrection, I pray that God will use the next few days, this 8-day journey, to draw your heart to him. I can't wait for you to join us. This is going to be life-changing. So come on, let's do this together, from Palm Sunday to Resurrection Sunday.